Here with your girl Megan. We're going to go over common shoulder issues that you may see with a client, how you can screen, show them exercises that will help. Megan has a client right now who's had some shoulder issues, so I'm going to show you what it looks like to take them through a screen. If you're not familiar with Show Up, we're online, in person. We're in San Diego right now. 2-month seminars. You will become a great trainer if you want to work with Megan, La Jolla. So start off in that position on the ground. Client comes in, I assess them, and they talk about some shoulder issues, eliminate red flags, or you're working with a DPT. This could be a great opportunity for you to network and find a DPT so you can make that referral. If it's numb, if they can't get their arms above their head, a simple little screen that they'll do with an FMS. Put your hand over here, see if they can come up there. If you have an impingement, wouldn't be able to get there, so maybe you make that referral. But this is a client who can move, so we just have some limitations with the movement. So we have them lie down. I don't want them to have their knees bent because then it's going to restrict the full range of motion. So I like to have them put their hands straight. What I'm looking for now is too much of an arch in the low back or their rib cage to flare. And so I always ask my clients before I touch them, but I'll put my middle finger and thumb right here on the lower portions of the rib. And what I'm looking for is to see if those flare up right when they begin to move. That's when I stop the assessment of the screen. So my client will then come back. We should be able to get our thumbs and touch behind. Megan has a great range of motion. You can see that she can get there. This is optimal in the screen to see if we can be doing overhead pressing and probably even back squatting as well. If your clients can't get there, you're going to probably see compensations with those core patterns that I just said. So let's come back and then let's hypothetically move here. You'll see, it's like they're taking a big deep breath. So there's restriction in the rib cage. So now I would stop right where she's able to own the movement without the compensation. So let's say she comes right there, but my mind goes, all right, so we're not going to be doing overhead pressing. We're not going to do military press. Arnold's, nope. I would do landmine presses, that's okay. But as the warm up, I'm going to address a lot of this junk and do some just activation drills to get muscles fired up for the workout. So I'd like to do the soft tissue manipulation first. So let's just go. When you foam roll, it shouldn't be fun. There should be a purpose behind it. So you're going to hinge up and give yourself a big hug. Go back and forth. And then what I'll do is if my client's doing it in a fairly passive way, I'll be a little more aggressive. I'll hold right in the middle, and then I'll shake my client back and forth and just get into that tissue a little bit more. It's a little more aggressive. And then in that position, I'll have her put her hands straight out, and then see if we can get our elbows to touch back. So just come back here. And I'll just have her do some reps. This is all part of the warm up. Good. And then one of my favorite things to do, get off this, is a PNF stretch, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. Say it fast, it sounds cool. Proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. So get in this position, tell my clients, hug the ball, and then you want to have a posterior tilt, so try to not make it awkward, but hump the ball, there you go. So then this shoulder is the one that's giving her some issues. I would like you to put your hands straight out. And then I'm going to give her the dowel, pull whatever you have. And so keeping the head neutral, you're then going to raise your hand up, not compensating the rest. Great, that's her full range. Now she's going to come in and drive into the ground as hard as she can, which is going to fire up her lats via reciprocal inhibition. She relaxes, and now she's going to get full range of motion. Great, do it again. Try not to bend the elbow. We're keeping this nice and neutral here, not an arch anywhere, and then come up again. By doing this 3 to 4 times, you'll see that each time she get more range of motion. That's a great one to do. And then last but not least, I will do some regular band pull aparts. I like to do it supinated. The reason we do supinated is because pronated may encourage the head of the humerus to come off that glenoid cavity, which is part of your scapula. So we don't want to have that anterior glenohumeral tilt or that glide. So when you go supinated, you're just being more in the position to centrate it better. So then when we come back here, I'm going to cross. And then what I'll do from the trainer's perspective, I'm always watching my clients, and I'll be behind them. I'll touch her traps down. Don't drive through your traps. Then when she comes back, and then I'll use my hands to push off the back. Get your scaps off the back. So what this will look like from this perspective is keep your scaps kind of locked and do a couple so they can see. Just do a couple, keep them locked. So you see how it's not moving, just the humerus is moving. We want the scapulus to move. Maybe this dyskinesis, dysfunctional movement, is why there's some pain in the shoulder because the scaps aren't moving up. So when she comes off, I would just here. There you go, good. What we're encouraging is protraction and retraction and getting those muscles fired up. And then as my client progresses, I'll throw in one of my favorite warm-ups, push up on a stability, whatever the hell this thing's called, foam roller. This is more progressed. So do a push-up, and again, I know what she's capable of. It would not be this beginner, really get that protraction, which is going to fire up the serratus anterior. Do another one, and then I want to go to downward dog. So that's going to get upward rotation. A lot of times the reason we can have shoulder issues, not always, but sometimes, because the serratus muscles aren't doing their job optimally. So this is going to really fire that muscle up, come back down, do a push-up, and then what I like to do is when you come back to this position, let's go right hand to left toe. There we go. Now we're really going to make it a little more challenging. Again, this is the progressed version. We started out with the basic. As we get stronger, we still need to do the other side. We need to challenge the system. So, great job. Do this before your pushing day. Restrict, maybe even eliminate for a month overhead pressing. As your clients get stronger and their guard comes down with the pain and the issue, you're addressing it, then they're going to more than likely overcome that issue. Good, thank you. And just remember, we're not therapists. I would highly encourage you to have a therapist on your team so you can make those referrals and go with your client to the therapist. Even better, make some money. So if we have Mr. Therapist over here who charges $200, I'm going to say, Mr. Therapist, would it be okay if I give you a client for $150? More than likely, they're going to say, that's fine. Charge your client $200. You just profited $50. Holy shit, that's another stream of revenue. And that's what you get when you show up. You're going to learn anatomy, movement, progressions. You're going to ask questions of the fitness professionals. But we're also going to help you build your business. So keep showing. Ah!